I'm not a person who is likely to ever go to war, but I do think that much can be learned from those who have engaged in deadly conflicts from the past. In The Art of War, Sun Tzu gives a list of powerful lessons learned from warfare that I think are useful in a variety of ways across my average, non-combat oriented lifestyle. But as I read these words from Sun Tzu, sometimes I like to think of the work being done here at Sun Tree as a kind of war. Big yearly events like Brevard Mission Week required dozens of people taking hours spent preparing in the long months beforehand. Or even something as simple as worship each week has a ton of moving parts and peoples all coordinating to make one great event. What advice can we take from Sun Tzu on the work of our church? In the operation of war, where there are in the field 1,000 swift chariots, as many heavy chariots, and 100,000 mail-clad soldiers, with provisions enough to carry them 1,000 li, the expenditure at home at the front, including entertainment of guests, small items such as glue and paint, and sums spent on chariots and armor will reach the total of 1,000 ounces of silver per day. Such is the cost of raising the army of 100,000 men. Sun Tzu also says, "Thus may it be known that the leader of armies is the arbiter of the people's fate, the man on whom it depends whether the nation shall be in peace or peril." We see here two powerful pieces of advice. Know the materials that it takes to accomplish your task, be it 1,000 swift chariots, or all the supplies for a home improvement project, or just the emotional and spiritual energy to have a really difficult conversation. Knowing what you need and gathering it is an essential first step. The second point comes from the end of the chapter, and it's an important reminder of our responsibilities as leaders in the battles. In Ephesians 4:11-13, we see assurance from the Apostle Paul that both these pieces of advice from Sun Tzu are already covered. The gifts he gave were that some would be apostles, some prophets, some evangelists, some pastors and teachers, to equip the saints for the work of the ministry, for the building of the body of Christ, until all of us come to the unity of the faith and of the knowledge of the Son of God, to maturity, to the measure of the full stature of Christ. We are assured that Christ has equipped us for the battles we have been called. And it is essential that we create a team of those with complementing gifts for the purposes of building the body of Christ. Within our own community here at Sun Tree, we see those who are called to teach, to be leaders, to plan events. There are so many ways that we can use our talents to serve God. We know that we've been equipped, and it's our turn to take the next step. I challenge you this week to be in prayer to find your place on a team that is working to build the body of Christ. Look to become a leader who assures the fate of our people. Take your place on the front line as we share the extraordinary love of God with the people of our community.